Have you ever wondered how civilizations from across the globe, with no contact between them, managed to come up with similar architectural designs to connect with the divine, honor the dead, and ensure a successful journey into the afterlife? Which ancient civilization built the most impressive pyramids? Was it the Egyptians with their iconic Giza pyramids, or perhaps the Maya with their intricate stepped structures? Well, size does matter, especially when it comes to building ancient marvels. We'll be answering key questions like which civilization's pyramids were the tallest, who had the most advanced construction techniques, and whose pyramids have stood the test of time the best. We are going to focus on three factors: scale and size, construction techniques, and durability and longevity, to see who truly built the best pyramids. First up, let's talk about size. Did you know the Great Pyramid of Giza stood as the tallest man-made structure for over 3,800 years? I guess you could say that when it comes to pyramids, size really does matter, at least in the eyes of the pharaoh. Imagine standing at the base of this colossal structure, built with over 2 million blocks of stone, each weighing several tons. The sheer scale is mind-blowing. The years and manpower put into building this structure are almost unimaginable. Pharaoh Khufu was the first Egyptian king to build a pyramid in Giza. Herodotus tells the tale that Khufu sold his daughter as a prostitute to fund the project. Now, that didn't pan out with modern historians, but it sure made for an interesting story for the Greeks back home. This is also where the idea of slaves building the pyramids came about, a notion that has been debunked by many archaeologists. There's still some discussion on how these massive structures were actually built, but when it comes to scale and size, Egypt takes the crown, with the Great Pyramid of Giza towering at an original height of 146.6 meters. So how did these ancient builders manage to move and place such massive stones with precision? Let's start with the Maya in Mesoamerica. In Mesoamerica, the Maya used a combination of manpower and ingenious tools to construct their pyramids, often integrating them seamlessly with the surrounding landscape. They would choose their site based on slight elevations, allowing their pyramids to appear even taller from below, ensuring their sign of power was undeniable. The Mayans primarily used limestone to make their blocks. Without any forged iron available, they used stone tools to cut out the blocks. They also aligned their cities and pyramids with the stars and planets, reflecting their deep knowledge of astronomy. While the Egyptians, on the other hand, used copper tools like chisels and saws to carve out their blocks. They likely used a ramp system to move and place the heavy stones, which is one of the most widely accepted theories. Simple lever systems might have also been used to lift the stones higher as the pyramid grew. Over in China, pyramids are a bit more mysterious. Their governments have been quite protective, limiting outside access. So much of what we know is pieced together from limited excavations. Their pyramids, more like large mounds of earth and stone, were constructed using rammed earth techniques and were often covered with vegetation to blend into the landscape. While each civilization had unique methods, the precision and innovation of Egyptian techniques, in particular, the use of ramps and sleds, often set them apart from the rest. Finally, when we look at durability and longevity, which pyramids have best withstood the ravages of time? Let's consider the Nubian pyramids of Sudan. Despite being smaller and less famous than their Egyptian counterparts, these pyramids have endured for a millennia, a testament to the advancement construction methods and durable materials used by the Kingdom of Kush. What's particularly fascinating about the Nubian pyramids is their resilience. While they're smaller, their construction was meticulous, their angles far steeper than those of the Egyptian pyramids, which actually helped them weather the elements more effectively over time. There is a story that in the early 19th century, an Italian treasure hunter named Giuseppe Ferlini blasted the tops of over 40 Nubian pyramids in search of gold and treasures. Despite this, many of these pyramids still stand today, which is a testament to their solid construction. Now, if we turn our attention back to the Egyptian pyramids, focusing on those at the Giza Plateau, these monuments have stood for nearly 4,500 years. surviving earthquakes, floods, and human activity. One of the most interesting aspects of their durability is the use of Tura limestone, a high-quality stone used for the outer casing of the Great Pyramid. Though most of these casing stones were stripped away over the centuries, some even being used to build the nearby city of Cairo, the inner core of the pyramid remains intact. Now, during the medieval period, much of the pyramid's outer casing was removed to build mosques and fortifications in Cairo. Imagine, even with the primitive tools, workers struggled to dismantle the stone blocks. They were so well fitted together that not even a razor blade could be inserted between them. This precision in construction is one of the reasons why the pyramids have remained largely intact despite such extensive looting and repurposing. And we cannot forget the ziggurats of Mesopotamia. Although not pyramids in the traditional sense, these towering structures were the centerpieces of Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian cities. The ziggurat of Ur, for instance, is one of the best preserved examples. Built around 2100 BCE, it originally stood as a massive terraced structure with a temple on top dedicated to the moon god Nana. The ziggurats were made of mud bricks, which unfortunately did not fare as well over the centuries as the stone blocks of the Egyptian pyramids. However, the ziggurat of Ur has survived in part because of its foundation, a solid core of fired bricks that provided stability. In the 1980s, this ancient structure underwent significant restoration under Saddam Hussein's regime, which added to its endurance. Today, the ziggurat of Ur stands as a reminder of Mesopotamia's ancient glory and the ingenuity of its builders. Meanwhile, in China, the pyramid tombs have also stood the test of time, though in more of a subtle way. Unlike the more famous pyramids of Egypt and Nubia, the Chinese pyramids are covered with earth and vegetation, blending into the landscape. The most famous of these is the mausoleum of the first Qin emperor, home to the Terracotta Army. Over time, the vegetation has helped protect these structures from erosion, effectively hiding them in plain sight. Interestingly, these earthen pyramids have endured not just because of their construction, but also because of the secrecy surrounding them. The Chinese government has been very protective of these sites, limiting excavations to preserve them for future generations. This means that while they may not appear as grand as the pyramids of Egypt, their longevity is equally impressive, preserved by both nature and human intervention. In terms of longevity, the pyramids of Egypt and Nubia truly stand out. The dry desert environment has certainly helped, but it's the engineering behind these structures that has ensured their survival. The Great Pyramid, for example, has only sunk a few inches into the ground over 4 millennia, a remarkable feat considering. Another fascinating anecdote: did you know that the pyramid at Giza still retains some of its original outer casing at the very top? This gives us a glimpse of how all these Giza pyramids would have looked in their prime. Gleaming white beacons visible for miles, it's an awe-inspiring sight that has captivated humanity for thousands of years. So if we're talking about durability, it is clear that the pyramids of Egypt and Nubia were built not just to last a lifetime, but an eternity. The ziggurats of Mesopotamia, though less durable in their original form, have been partly restored and still echo the grandeur of the ancient civilizations that built them. From the towering pyramids of Egypt to the steep ziggurats of Mesopotamia, the intricate temples of the Maya, the sacred burial mounds of China, these structures are more than just architectural marvels. They represent a universal human drive, a shared belief in something greater than ourselves, a desire to reach beyond the earthly realm, and an enduring hope for an afterlife. These ancient builders, separated by oceans, mountains, and vast stretches of time, all arrived at similar conclusions about how to structure their world. They saw the pyramid not just as a physical structure, but as a symbol, a connection between earth and sky, a bridge between the living and the dead, a testament to their civilization's understanding of the universe. The pyramids stand today not only as relics of the past, but as reminders of our shared human experience. They remind us that no matter where we come from, our ancestors were driven by the same hopes, fears, and aspirations. They sought to make sense of the world, to explain the mysteries of life and death, and to ensure that their stories would be told long after they were gone. So as we look back on these ancient wonders, we see not just the achievements of separate civilizations, but the shared legacy of humanity, a legacy that continues to inspire and connect us across time and space. So it's a representation that we are all connected on this planet, more so than we ever imagined. Thanks for joining with us on this journey through the ancient ancient architectural brilliance and the shared human spirit that connects us all. Check out more of our videos on our channel, and as always, let us know in the comments if there are some historical events or themes you would like us to dig up. And don't forget to subscribe for more exciting history content. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.